Yeah, this race was too wet for me. Let's go home and I'll tell you all about it, but definitely not the bike I was expecting. The run was really good. Beat my 5K PR by a long shot. The swim, I mean, it was in a pool, so the weather doesn't really affect that, but as you can tell, not ideal conditions. That's okay. Okay, so I want to go 150 meters easy, then dive into it. On the bike, I'm gonna go one lap easy, and yeah, none of that happened, to be honest. But so let me tell you what happened. So essentially, I should have known this going into it, but unfortunately, yesterday was extremely wet, cold, windy, all the above, all the things that you don't want during a triathlon. You want to be nice and dry, especially, but you also want a little bit of sun to keep you warm. Not too warm because you'll overheat, but anyway, so here's a little clip of the weather from yesterday. As you can tell, super freaking crappy. That's all right, but it wasn't all bad. Now let's get into it. So let's start with the swim. The swim, like I said yesterday, is a pool swim, which is good and bad, mostly bad. So let me tell you why I'm not a big fan of the pool swims. So the way that they do it is they seed it based on your expected finish time. So I said like 16 minutes, so seeded in that lower end of the group. And you know what? I actually did predict my time pretty well. I finished in about 16 minutes at a 2:09 pace. But that wasn't the bad part. What I really don't like about pool swims is the fact that your stroke is constantly being disrupted every 25 meters. So you get a good rhythm going, you're feeling nice and loose, you're loving it, you have to turn around. Again, you're feeling it, you gotta turn around. See, you lose that rhythm and you also lose any form of momentum you gain by going continuously. So in the open water, you have that nice continuous smooth motion, the water's going with you. In the pool, that's just a bang and you have to stop. You have to push off the wall. I can't flip turn because I'm not a freaking wildebeest. So I have to stop, move myself over, go back around. So that's all right. But anyway, nothing they can do about that. That's just a pool swim. So like I said, I finished in about 16 minutes, headed off to transition. Let's talk about that bike. And I don't want to think about that bike. So as I mentioned, the weather was less than optimal. It was about 8 degrees, gusts up to 70 kilometers an hour. I don't know, miles per hour, like 50. And it just wasn't pleasant at all. And the worst part of it all is me being the bright, smart, intelligent individual that I am, didn't bring any wind gear. Instead, wind or rain gear or cold weather gear, let me mind you. So what did I do? I wore a jacket with a big hood. I attempted to tuck it in, I was that smart, but, well, it came out within 500 meters, so I had a parachute acting as extra wind resistance on the back of me. Perfect. It suited my new P2 very well. It's very aerodynamic to have a wind scoop. I highly recommend anyone getting into triathlon to invest in a hood. It will make you much faster, guaranteed. At least that's what I told myself, because otherwise I probably would have given up right then and there. But anyway, we did okay. After the hood was all sorted out, we kept on going. We did the first loop. That plan kind of was followed. I did go relatively easy for that first loop to get my legs underneath me and all well and good. But the second and third loop, the skies opened up, the heavens came down upon me, and oh me, oh my, was it tough. It felt like hail. I asked the person after the race too, was that hail hitting our face there? But no, it was just the straight up rain and wind beating us up. I was probably only going about 30k an hour, 21 miles per hour-ish on the bike, and oh man, that was tough. So I tried to keep that pace up for a while, but like anyone, my brain just kind of shut off and I was having the doubts. I really honestly contemplated quitting. I was like, oh, what is it? It's just a little sprint. It's not counting for anything. My bigger goal is Mont Tremblant at the end of this month. Who cares? I can quit right now, go have a nice breakfast, go have a sip of coffee, just have a great time and explain on the video what happened. No one will care. But hey, you should never give in to those thoughts. You got to trick your mind into thinking that you're enjoying yourself. So that's exactly what I did. And eventually I did enjoy myself on the bike. So I kept reminding myself that it's almost over. It's only 20K. It's only going to last like 45 minutes at the tops. You'll be out there on the run course in no time. So after I got through that second and third loop, I was actually feeling relatively motivated and excited to keep going. That fourth loop, I did kind of stick to my plan again of getting that higher cadence, but the strategy was not followed to a T, and that's all right. We'll learn from this and just carry on to the next one. Racing isn't pretty on the best of days, and yesterday's bike was a true testament to that. Now, coming into transition 2, it was a good old time. Let's talk about that run. Ding, 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 ding. Smart Person Award goes to Brendan once again for forgetting to cover his shoes in the rain-filled, cold-infested day in Nova Scotia because he wanted to add some extra weight to his shoes, obviously. So, yes, I did not cover my shoes in the least. So they were pretty much sponges. They were soaking up all that liquid, getting nice and good, because I knew my feet would be hot coming off that bike. Super considerate of Mother Nature, but hey, I'm a tough guy. So I laced them up. It kind of felt like my feet were hanging off the edges because it was so filled up, to be honest. It's hard to explain. But you know what? That's all right. I popped my gel in me, a little caffeinated gel, because I only had 1 cup of coffee yesterday morning. And I'm a kind of a 3-cup a guy, 4 cups a day type person. So I needed that caffeinated gel. And oh, baby, did it hit the spot. I got on that run course, and I was flying. Holy moly. In my plan, I expected to run the first 2.5K at a 4:40 per kilometer pace. I looked down at my watch about a kilometer in. Dude, I hit a 4:39 per kilometer pace without feeling it. I thought I was going like a 6K an hour pace because I had that heavy jacket on me with the hood still there. I had these very wet, heavy shoes. The wind was still blowing in your face, although not as big of a factor as when you're on the bike. It's still not 100% pleasurable getting that boom smacked in the face every couple seconds by a big side gust of wind and rain. So I kept going at that 4:40 per kilometer pace, or 4:39. So I actually was like, well, I'm feeling pretty good. Why not pick it up? So I picked it up. And I hit the next kilometer at 4:25, the next one at 4:20, this fourth one at, I think, 4:19, and then the last one. I ran my fastest kilometer ever at a 3:58. I was flying. I don't know what's gotten into me. I don't know if it's his 80-20 training regime. I don't know if it's the team training platform I've been following, or if it was the magic, the sweet creme de la creme of the Cervelo P2, because that thing felt amazing. Super pleased with my purchase. I'll do a full review on that pretty soon. I just need to get a couple more rides in because I've been still stuck on that trainer a little bit because I was kind of timid on the bike at first, but yesterday proved to me that I'm able to handle it, and I'm going to keep on pounding that pavement with that P2 because I really do think that it set me up for the run that I had. So I came in to the finish line at the run at 20:55 for the 5K. 5K PR, 1K PR, and that's after that treacherous bike and swim. So I'm actually gonna have to do a 5K track PR attempt pretty soon because I'm pretty curious what I can do. I'm almost 100% sure that I can get below 20 minutes. And the only thing holding me back is my mind. So I think I have it in my legs. I'll do another video on that too. So that brought me in finishing the sprint triathlon in 1 hour, 23 minutes. Or like 22 something. So that brought me up to 20th place overall and second in my age group. The swim really let me down. The guy that beat me was a much better swimmer. And because of the way that it was seated, I couldn't see where he was to track him, but I actually did beat him on the bike and the run, which is pretty fantastic considering last year and the year before I came dead second to last in the 2 races. So, you know what? Progress. And I guess I didn't even mention anything about the nutrition throughout the race, right? So, for me, yesterday was an experiment on that as well, because typically during a sprint, I have a gel on the bike and a gel on the run. Yesterday I was like, well, I'm not gonna drink a whole lot throughout the morning, and then I'll just pack in an electrolyte with a little bit of carb drink during the bike. So each loop I was having little sips of it, and then like I said, I had that caffeinated gel just before I headed out on the run, and that actually worked very well. I'm very pleased. I didn't feel bloated, I didn't feel heavy, I felt nice and light and very snappy. So I think I'm gonna try that out again in the next sprint. For the half Ironman coming up, that's a totally different story. I'll actually have a full video on the race nutrition for that, because I am kind of gluten intolerant. So for all of you that have that same dietary restriction, stay tuned for that, because we'll be discussing on how I go about approaching that. So it might help you out as well. So that's my wrap up for this race report. I hope you all had a great weekend. If you had a race, hope you smashed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace! Make sure to like and subscribe if you are a crazy triathlete, if you like weight loss tips, if you like fitness, if you like just having a good old time with a little bit of comedy. Hit that subscribe button, leave a like down below, and a comment if you want to hear more about